All right. Hey, everybody. How are we doing? Uh, Here we are again in our water cooler number 6. I'm quite surprised that we're still doing this. I thought we might do one or two and stop, but here we are.
Yeah, it's I think every week when we have it in the calendar, it's like, can we make it work? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, let's hop on a call.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
it was supposed to be the first Thursday of each month, and now it's the 16th of July. So, but anyway, we got a lot of things happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This time we have a couple of things that we want to talk about. So I'm joined with Thomas once again, and we're going to talk a little bit about Raycast. We have a couple of things that we just announced, and maybe I think you have some nice little demos for us, don't you?
I have a few things, yeah, making
Nice.
some of them up on the spot, and built
Yes.
like a little hilarious thing right before. So I had a quick laugh because it just finished. But yes,
Yeah, and we then have a few Glaze announcements as well, or maybe some demos, both. Actually, we do have an announcement. I'm not even sure if we released it. We might do it live now. Let's see how it goes. Um, so yeah, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Raycast? I think we should.
that's always Raycast. Yeah, we had like a
Yeah.
very anticipated release today, right? Which was another when moment where people asked for like
Yes.
a feature, which we had internally for a while. So we maybe haven't felt exactly the pain, but drum roll, finally CloudSync is out, which according to the comments on Twitter is one of those features which was really missed for adopting the new Raycast.
Yep. Yeah, that's great news. Cloud Sync is out. It took longer than what any of us thought, but it also contains so much complexity syncing across now so many different versions of Raycast and different platforms. And so it's definitely something that sometimes seems so much simpler on the surface.
Mhm.
But I know Marcos like spent a long time working through all of the edge cases and everything. So shout out to Marcos for and the rest of the team, Martin as well. Quite a few people were involved in getting this over the line. So congrats, and we're very happy that it's out. Give it a go. Try it out, especially if you're using the new Raycast and Raycast for iOS. And if there are some of you that are still working across platforms, I have a few friends who are 3D designers, and they tend to work a lot on Windows and Mac because they will do most of their work on a Mac,
Yeah,
and then they will switch over to Windows when they need to export and stuff. So these are some of the people I know that are using both platforms at once. So for if you are doing stuff like that, then of course CloudSync is great for that.
yeah. Niklas is our designer, right? He's currently off, but he also uses like a beefy Windows machine for all the rendering and stuff like that. When he sometimes does like some crazy assets, always interesting how people jump around. But yeah, I personally rely on it a ton for my notes and my chats. So my notes, I have like I'm a weird note taker when it comes to this. I have like I think I looked it up earlier. I have 9,000 floating notes or something like this because we now see how many you
9,000.
have. Yeah, it's crazy.
Jesus.
I don't know how I ended up with so many, but like I have two habits. One, every week I create a weekly note. So I have like a weekly note where I see my to dos and I basically stick around for a week. I have like a snippet, which I basically then use as a template. And then the other thing which I have in my note, I have a workout log, which is like a long ongoing list that has like 20,000 characters, which basically I do workouts 3-4 times a week. And so then I start a new section, put in my workout, see what I had before. And so now what I do, now getting a bit complicated, but bear
Yeah,
with me
yeah,
for a
yeah.
second.
It's gradually getting more and more intense.
Exactly. So now what I do, because on iOS we now have AI extensions, so you can connect your AI chat to a node. And so I did that. And on my way to the gym, I walked like roughly 10 minutes. I text in this chat and said like, hey, let's plan my next workout. And then it knows that I try to like maybe grow my chest or whatever. And then it like looks into my previous performance, so to say, and then it like does in the next one. So I have like this mini workout
Wow,
setup, which is pretty cool. And so yeah,
man, that's
and
crazy.
Cloud Sync has allowed me to have this obviously on the go and on my Mac or my PC as well, which is pretty
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, that's cool, man. That's crazy. Because like there are so many workout apps. I was actually looking for one not too long ago. I posted a tweet like, looking for the Flighty of workout apps.
Oh my god,
And
yeah.
because Flighty is one of those apps that's quite it took something that's pretty complex, like flight data, and he centralized it into a really nice, clean user interface. I really like it. And so I was like, man, I want the same for I don't want like too many options, like I'm not trying to do anything crazy. And most of the apps I was using, and especially the ones that come with like these personal trainers that you hire, they're like, oh man, it's so bad. And it's crazy that you skipped all of that and you went straight to as low level as it could be, which is just one long note.
Yeah, and I don't even know how I ended up there, to be honest. Like I just started at some point. Like usually I was like just YOLOing it, and at some point I like, let me record it a bit more. And then
Yeah,
as you go, you like, I don't know, ask AI like, what should I do? And it's like, yeah, and then slowly build up on it. And so now I have the system which works really well. I just
that's
ask
cool.
it, get it. I gave it sort of my system instructions, what I care about, how often I
Mm,
work out,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, this kind of stuff. And oh yeah, on iOS we also connect to Apple Health, which is
Oh
really
yeah.
cool because it can then read my runs, so it knows when I run, which I don't keep in this floating note. So it just like basically looks up, oh, you ran yesterday, so then today we maybe do, I don't know, less legs or whatever AI comes up with, and it's
Wow,
like
that's cool.
it's good enough for me. Like, and it's basically kind of for free if you have a pro subscription, so you don't need to pay another app. Because I poked around with some of those planning apps, and they were all like too fiddly for me and too much
Yeah.
work. And so this one is I know how to use notes and AI chat.
Yeah,
That's
man.
all I need.
Whatever works to get the job done.
Yeah.
We
Sorry, bit
we
of a
have quite
detour.
yeah. We have quite a few more people joining. Hi, Yen. Always good to see you. We
Nice.
still need to go to Taiwan, by the way.
Oh yes.
Greetings from Switzerland as well. Hi.
Oh yeah.
Switzerland did very well at the World Cup this time, I must say.
They did. Yeah. Like okay, fun fact: Switzerland, I think, is the only country in the world which has officially a square flag. All other flags of countries are rectangular. But Melvin probably can correct me if this is not true. But it's one of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
skills
let
that
us
I
know,
have
let us
picked up.
know. All right, so Cloud Sync is out. That's the first update. Let us know if you guys watching have not tried Raycast 2.0, then let us know in the chat if there's anything specifically that's stopping you from trying it out. We know that a lot of people were waiting for Cloud Sync in order to try it out. So a lot of people have now been unblocked so they can download Raycast 2.0, enable Cloud Sync, and connect and carry on as before, but better. Uh, we have a hi from Argentina. Hello. I got the wrong message because I think someone just sent one. Hello, mate. Argentina in the final with Spain, man. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I'm Team Spain, I must say. But good luck and let's see. We got Sambit legends who came to our Glaze event in New York City,
Oh
and
yes.
um, and apparently the Nepal flag is, I think you mean,
Okay.
is a rectangle as well. Maybe that's what you mean. Um, let's have a look at the comments a little bit before we go deep. The dictation is too good. Hello from Warwick, England. England, unlucky yesterday. I was actually on England side, I must say.
Yeah, we watched it with a
Um,
few folks over in
yeah,
London, which are currently in town. Yeah, it was a good match though.
Argentina,
Interesting to
man, they're
watch.
doing well when it comes to turning the game around in the last 15 minutes of a match. That's
It's
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, the other one was against Egypt, right? Where pretty much something similar happened, where they were, I think, 2-0 back, and then it turned
Yeah.
it around.
Hi, Big Bruno. We have a little Bruno in the team. So, hi, Big Bruno. Rod didn't receive any update yet. You mean for Raycast V2? If you are in Raycast V1, you need to download Raycast V2. Just go to raycast.com/new and you can download it from there. It's a whole separate download, basically.
Yes.
All right. So what's next? We have a few more smaller updates about Raycast. So let's go through them.
Let's go through them. Let me see. Actually, yeah. One thing we basically headline item of this week was essentially cloud sync, right? But with every release, there's also a bunch of other things go out, and so we just had like a few of those nice quality of life fixes, and I think I'm just brushing up my memory on some of those. But with AI chat, we spent a bit of time. I think you've seen maybe like I tweeted something where we asked like what people wanted to have there,
Oh yeah,
and like
a
what we
lot of
can do better.
comments.
Yeah, and we took all of them seriously. Not all of them are obviously addressed in this release, but we tried somewhat our best to like get some things in, and we concentrated on the tool call experience a bit. And so now
Okay.
let me see if I share my screen. There you go. There you go. There we go. So we have, whoa, okay, let me move to a different here. That's a bit nicer. So
Yep.
that's the new chat, right? AI chat in Raycast V2 has a new kind of look. And I think like something which I wanted to show is like we now make it even cleaner. Like a lot of people said, like when you have a lot of tool calls and this agentic experiences, you're ending up with a wall of those tool calls. And what we did, we nicely collapsed them now. So you see like this thing took like roughly 9 calls. They're like all somewhat put together. They're nicely grouped. You can dive deeper if you want to and then go through. There are like a few sneak peeks and stuff that isn't available yet and comes out that I just see, but I'll leave you guessing. And it's quite nice. It works really well with AI extensions. I did on the side this week like a bunch of updates to the Slack AI extension, so you can add mention Slack.
One sec
Um,
before you just before you demo that, can do you mind just changing
oh,
your
dumb.
display setting a little bit
Yeah,
just so it's a little bit bigger for us? And you can
that's
also hide this bar thing at the bottom of your screen.
fair enough. Let's do it
Nice one.
professionally.
Yeah,
Oh no,
man.
this
Oh
is
no,
the wrong
the
way
other way
around.
around. Oh, that's better. That's better.
This is always huge. But yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah,
you
let's
see
see the
that like
Slack.
it's nicely
That's nice. That's much
grouped.
better.
Yeah. And I did a few updates to the Slack extension. So you can add mention Slack. And it's actually quite nice. So you can read through your channels, it can read threads. We had like a long ongoing thread this morning. I was just like asking basically my AI chat to give me like a gist of like, hey, what's going on there. And
Mhm.
then now we can also send messages and replies in threads, which is quite cool. So here, for example, I just did is like tomorrow just schedule like a post in our CloudSync project channel to just like prompt Marcus to maybe write a nice blog post about it, because people I think really appreciate when we write technical blog posts. I didn't want to dump it in today because we have release day. There's a lot of other things going on, so I just like so I don't forget about it. I scheduled something for tomorrow. So just a little one. So to see this in action, let me just create a new one. So I can ask a question, so maybe something like along the lines like we have like this joke that I always ask, like who are the founders of Raycast?
Yeah.
I obviously know the answer, but to do a few other ones, maybe we do like 3 companies. And so you see this in action. So now it's like looks a bit simpler. Let's see if AI doesn't give up on me. Sometimes it's slow whenever you want to demo something, of course.
The demo effect. Yeah, yeah.
The
I see
demo
that
effect.
you're using Soul in high. You enjoying that?
Yeah, yeah, I converted 5.6 Soul. I really enjoy. Usually it's actually quite fast, so this is actually really a fun demo effect. There you go. I started thinking. And you see, like now you see like one line where it goes through the action it takes. But yeah, I got into like 5.6 Soul. I usually when a new model comes out, I switch to it to just get a feel for it, because all those benchmarks, every benchmark is like always the best. So it's like I don't know, I can't reason about it anymore. So I switch my defaults, and then you basically get more of a feel for the model. And what I like about 5.6 Sol is one is like it goes on forever. It's like a workhorse. It doesn't give up. To I like that it's very concise. Like here, for example, you see like it just lists the
It's
founders
true.
of Raycast Linear and GitHub. Straight
Yeah,
to the point,
yeah, I
no
like that.
fluff.
I
Really
usually
good.
have system instructions to tell models to like, man, just give me a straight answer, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And so I like that. And then generally it's like fast. In this case, it wasn't, but like usually it is. But you see, like now we like have this like really nice simple UI. And if you want to see
Yeah,
what the model did, you can dive deeper, see what it
that's
saw,
cool.
see what it actually searched and what it like looked at. So we spent some time cleaning this up. And I feel really good about that state. And then also we have here on the side, like all these other different panels. And if it loads in some other extensions, you would see them appearing here, which I think is quite nice
Yeah,
as well.
that's
So
cool.
just a bit of a cleanup.
And
Um,
this Slack extension, is that something that's currently in your sort of like working environment, or have you published that?
no, it's all published. So Truth helped me review it. So I can, for example, go in here and say like send this info to Petro. Let's see what it
Let's see.
does. Um, and
Let's
so
see.
this
Let's
should
see.
like basically just go over, probably find you, probably send you. There's like a few things which I want to improve. But yeah, see like find users, so it looks you up, and then it just
Oh, there
sends
you
you a
go. I just got
message.
it now.
Nice. And
Yeah,
then it should
it's
say
it's
sent via Raycast on the bottom, if I'm
it
not.
does. Yeah, it says sent via Raycast, which is the same with Claude, right? And once
Yeah.
I said to Claude, "Can you not say that?" Like, like I just wanted to sound like me. And then he was like, "No, it seems that it's an API limitation that if you send a message programmatically, it has to include that."
Yeah.
So apparently that's
So
how it works.
so you always get like a link here which you can click to verify. I'm not doing this because it flies around then. But to your point, when I go to the Slack extension settings, when I have a lot of extensions. So I added a setting for this. Like here, if you really don't want to have it, by default it's turned on because I feel like there is something
Mm,
nice about telling like, hey, I did this like with an AI, because there may be
mm.
like something. But you can turn it off and then it doesn't have that, right?
Ah,
So
okay, so Claude must do the same thing. They must just like make that a default.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was a nice touch to see this.
Yeah,
It's
that's
quite nice.
nice. I have a question. Like, I've been thinking
Please.
about this recently. Um, how are you differentiating sort of AI extensions in Raycast and what they can do to installing like the Slack skill that just kind of does the same thing through like endpoints, like, just like terminal
Yeah.
bash curl
Yeah.
endpoints.
Yeah. I think I went through like a journey there. So first I was using the AI extension in Raycast with Slack. Or then I went like, oh, they have now an MCP. So I installed the MCP. But then the MCP was always like the authentication wasn't like super well, like always had to log in every now and then again. And then I was like going back and like basically used the AI extension again. And like one thing which I did during this and last week, whenever I wanted to do something and it couldn't do it, I just asked it, like literally in AI chat, I asked it like, okay, can you make a pull request to the extension to add it? And so if you look into our repository and look to my contributions in the extensions report, which is
Yeah.
public, you see that I added a bunch of commands to the Slack extension to like send a message, to like
Mm.
reply in a thread, to update a message, to a few
It's almost
others.
like for every endpoint now there is a command for
Pretty
it.
much, yeah. And
Yeah.
whenever I hit something which it couldn't do, I ask it to like just build it, and it like
Yeah.
was a bit of a test, but it worked surprisingly well, which was quite cool. So I like now I'm fully on the extension because I feel like it gives me the nicest end-to-end experience. I just like have it installed anyways, but otherwise I can go to our store and one click and I have it installed. I don't need to fiddle with anything else, and it just does it for me. One thing which I did, which for anybody looks who want to get into more agentic stuff generally, one thing which I did, I was like asking basically the Slack extension, hey, go over my DMs and my messages and write me a skill for my tone of voice.
Right.
And so if you see, if we now have the possibility to add mention skills, so I can go here, Thomas,
Yeah.
and I have two skills, like a voice for Slack and a voice for Twitter.
Oh
slightly
wow,
different.
two different people.
Yeah, exactly. And this was like a game changer. Like my Slack things now, they sound like me, and my Twitter pretty much as well. Even so, the Twitter one I like tweak a bit more, but the Slack one sound like me. And even here, if I click in here, you see like it loaded my
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
voice.
didn't notice that actually.
Yeah, and it's like it worked really well. And I was just basically telling AI, read all my messages, write yourself a skill to make you sound like me, and pick everything up that I do that is maybe a bit different. And the first time when I then was just randomly, I think, sending myself a message, I was like, holy shit, like this
That's cool.
does
And when you
weirdly
asked it to
sound like me.
write a skill, you basically wrote an actual skill file in your file
Yes.
system. Then
Yeah.
that's where it reads from.
Exactly. We should probably make this like a link so you can like see where it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
it has access to all your skills. So if I'm going in here, let's see in AI settings, you see
Yeah.
we have skills here. I have 20, and then there's a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Bunch of
yeah.
like weird ones. I actually don't know what's exactly there, but like here's my
But
my
how did
Twitter
you
voice.
generate the Twitter one then? Did you just download
The
your
same.
Twitter archive and then you fed it?
This No, I connected Typefully. I think Typefully, like you see here, I have like a Typefully skill. So Typefully was quite cool. They have like a skill on MCP. So I was like, okay, let's use this.
Mm.
And the skill has like basically all sort of like scripts in there. And then I was just like, write me, like go over my stuff and write me like
Ah, got it. Got
a
it.
skill. And that worked really well. So shout out to Typefully. I enjoyed this a lot. And so
Yeah,
now,
I've
for
used the
example,
MCP quite a bit actually. It's really good.
yeah, it's quite nice. And I have sometimes like for Glaze where we do like a lot of tweets right now. You see, all my desktop is full of like little videos actually,
Yeah.
and I do those videos and then I just throw them into AI chat and say like, hey, schedule something for Saturday or Friday or whatever, and then it picks up
Mm.
from Typefully, and then I have a draft in Typefully, and then I usually go there and
Yeah.
like just make it
That's
like
cool.
really
So
sound
you
like
so
me.
you were basically your evolution of Slack was basically typing and then you were
Yeah.
just dictating everything into Slack. And now
Yes.
you're basically dictating into an AI chat, which then sends the stuff on Slack.
Yeah, I'm still like in this transition, but like I'm way too much still in Slack. But it's quite nice. I had a few of those moments where I had Slack closed and I could open to send a message, right? But I know when I open it, they're waiting like 20 messages that I need to read,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, maybe I don't need to open. I just ask AI to send it. Like,
Yeah.
hey, to like Danny asked, like, hey, can you take a look at this PR, for example? Like that, like felt quite good to like do this via AI
Yeah.
because I don't have to open Slack and I know this message like
And
really
because that
fast.
chat, well, I wonder skills are not synced, right, to
Not
iOS
yet.
because they're currently
Yeah.
living on your file system.
Hmm.
But and neither are the AI extensions actually. We have some AI tools that we can now call, but not all of them.
Not
But at
all of them.
some
Yes.
point, when we can sync things like that, like AI extensions, especially, which almost feels like a wrapper on top of the skills in a way, then that would be great because then you'll be able to do the same thing through iOS.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah. We should get to a point where everything is just like synced and everywhere the same. So
nice, nice, nice. Yeah, that was cool, man. I like that. I'm gonna copy some of these things, man. I'm gonna try and do my.
yeah, try it
I've
out.
tried
It's
a few
fun.
times like a tone of voice skill,
Yeah.
and it never gets it completely right. I'm still kind of struggling with that.
Yeah. It's like it's not 100%. For something, it's fine if it's 90% in a way. And then I think it's a thing which like I now do more often. Just when I notice something, I correct it and tell AI like to remember it. And so that I
Yeah.
think is something which I got into the habit. And once you have that,
Which
it
is a
kind of
really good
improves
thing,
quite a
right?
bit.
Because maybe people have missed this because sometimes we have so many updates and stuff that I think it's easy to miss stuff. I noticed that a lot. Like I've been
Ah, yeah,
tweeting about Raycast updates for 4 years now, and sometimes people ask for something that we announced like a year ago. But
yeah.
we do now have, and now that you're looking at the AI settings, maybe you can show the personalization view where we
Oh yeah,
have memory and stuff like that, and how you can also add mention memory, or you can tell in the iChat to basically remember something.
yeah, exactly. So I'm probably not gonna show my memory.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a
you don't
lot
need
of
to click on
weird
it because
stuff in
yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah, probably too personal.
Yeah, but there are like a few things. Like yeah, so AI chat by default learns from your previous conversations and keeps sort of a running memory, a running document about it, and it does a decent job when it helps like to just pick up some stuff.
Mm,
And you can ask it to remember stuff. You can also import it from other AI providers. So there's this import flow. When I click on this, you get a prompt that you can paste in pretty much any other AI assistant.
yeah.
And then it generates a memory for you that you can bring into Raycast. So it makes it really easy to get knowledge out of one AI assistant into another.
Hmm.
And it makes it way more personal. And I think this week we also basically started synchronizing this to iOS internally, not yet publicly, but hopefully soon, because this makes a big difference, I think, how you interact with AI generally.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. One last little thing. We have a question that's kind of related to Cloud Sync, and now that you're looking at settings and stuff, it might be nice to show it. But
Sure.
basically, you can show how you can be quite granular on what gets synced and what does not
Yeah.
get synced.
So Cloud Sync like is a complete rework, and again, hopefully Marcus writes a blog post about it. But we basically made it much more granular. Like one, you'd first see like which devices are connected. So you see like I have my current device, I have my PC, my iPhone, I have a MacBook Neo, and then you also see devices from V1. So these are basically all older devices. They're grouped under one umbrella. And so this basically allows you to see when something got synced. You also can remove something. So if there is a device that you maybe no longer like use or lost, you can basically remove that, so it doesn't
Hmm.
synchronize new content. And then the nice thing is you can also check basically the content it synchronizes and the amount, so you see how many chats I have and stuff like that. And you can toggle them on and off as well, so that's quite nice. And then we went even a level deeper on some of the settings, so you can also define, for example, you might want to have a different window mode. You might want to use it
Yeah.
compact and full on the two different devices, so you can toggle this off so it doesn't override it whenever you change it. So I think this is quite cool. This was basically doable because it like we've rewrote everything and like made a whole new architecture to allow this, which also is why it took us a little longer to like get it out there, especially to also guarantee backwards compatibility while we're in this transitioning phase. But all in all, this is like yeah, really cool. Super happy this one got finally out.
Yeah,
People
that's
basically
nice.
have that.
Yeah, Bruno just sent a message saying that he thinks that he meant specific quick links and snippets, in which case at the moment that's not possible. It's
Not
just
yet.
either you include
Yes.
them all or you exclude them all.
Yeah. Yes. There are like a few
Cool.
challenges as well because now we like cross platform. Think about quick links, they may be platform dependent, right? So some you maybe only work on Windows and some only on Mac OS. So there are a few of those
Yeah,
things.
that's true.
Yeah. There's one last thing which
Um,
I want to show in
yep.
AI, which was like something that a bunch of people requested and wanted. So we have this models tab where you can basically first of all see all of the models we support, and it's a long list. Ignore the blue ones, they're only internal, leaking all the stuff here. We also reworked a bit like here the speed and intelligence. Before we had I think 5 bars, and then like it wasn't granular enough, so now we made it more progressive, I guess. Like basically it goes percentage wise more or less, and then you still have like 5 points to kind of give you a bit of guidance, and you can
Yeah.
compare them. So I think this is quite nice.
Yeah, I like
And
that.
the
I
other,
rely on that a lot, to be honest. When I'm trying to
yeah,
choose a model, especially for AI commands, like there are some that I just want it to be really fast. Then I'm
yeah,
usually just going by that because it's hard to keep up with all the models, like which
oh
one
for
is
sure,
good for what.
yeah. And you see also in the default section now. I mean, I basically, as I mentioned earlier, switched fully to 5.6 just to like fully test it. But we also added here that you can set a reasoning effort for models that support it.
Oh,
So
that's
when I
cool.
have here quick AI, I have usually pick a fast model with low reasoning because when I use quick AI, it's oftentimes quick questions. And then for a chat, I have usually a higher tier model, and then also more reasoning. But you can switch how you want. Like it could extra high max, and obviously you can also switch the models. Well, let me close the node here for a sec. But here you see also like you can compare them, right? So you see, okay, Luna is fast, intelligence okay, Sol has the inverse, Terra is sort of like the middle ground. So you have like this really nice comparison. I really like those baths actually. They just landed, I think.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very nice.
Very nice. Who worked on that? Probably Roy, wasn't it?
Exactly. Roy
Yeah.
and I think Andreas, they kind of pushed this over the finish line. It's one of
Nice.
those things which we had like for a long time of those, yeah, we should do it. But then other things sometimes get in the way.
Yep. Yeah. Talking about things getting in the way. Maybe it's time we switch to some Glaze updates, unless you had anything else you wanted to show.
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, there's probably a ton of other things that we could talk and show, but I think this is a good mix of what's relevant in the release and some of the new things.
Yeah.
And then,
So are you gonna do some? Are you gonna demo some Glaze apps that you've been trying out this week?
yeah, I can.
Cool.
So let me see. Let me
Yeah.
close a bunch of stuff.
And while you do that, for you guys watching, stay tuned because after Thomas does all of these demos, we have a pretty big announcement for Glaze, which I think you're gonna enjoy. So stick around, basically.
Yeah. So I have like a mix of stuff. Some are actually from us, some are from others. And if you have some Petro, please shout. But this one is the first one. It's that you built, right? Which
Yeah.
is logos. Quite nice. Feel like simple, straightforward app gives you all the logos. You can copy, favorite, all of the fun stuff. Obviously, search, so you can do this or this. Quite visual, quite nice. So I like that one. I'm picking this one because I show you the fun one that I kind of, for whatever reason, put together right before this live
Oh,
stream,
let's see. As you
which
do.
is, yeah, which is, in our Slack we have a lot of custom emojis, right?
Yeah.
And I think actually Beth posted one today, which she found like was a cool one, and then I went through the list of our custom emojis, and I thought we have a lot of those grandpa or old man yell at something. And then I was like, oh, let me build a little Glaze app so I can just like whatever somebody want to yell at and want to turn that into an emoji, you can just do this. So let's say sometimes you maybe want to yell at Raycos. So you track this in, you have that,
Oh,
you can track it out, and so then you have like
well, that's
old
fast.
old man yells at this. It's a bit pixelated, so I like still need to find a better version of this grandpa.
But for
Which
Slack,
is
it's
fun.
fine. It's rendered so
But
small anyway.
exactly, for Slack is fine. You can also copy and then you can just paste and then you can yell
Love it. That's brilliant. That's
at
so silly,
X.
but so fun.
Yeah, I was just like, and this like basically got one shotted. I had like a few little things that I wanted to have differently, but like it found this image. I didn't even give it this image. I was just like, this grandpa from Simpsons and the yell at meme, make me an app for that. And then it like put this
You
together.
should you should integrate
Hilarious.
this with Slack so you can just like from there
Oh, it would
send
be
it. I
nice.
don't even know if there is an API for that, but if there was, it would be amazing
Yeah,
because I feel
that would be
like
good.
that's the bit that's quite annoying to do.
Yeah, that's
But I
true.
love
So
that.
like a nice little button up here, like just add, and then that would work.
This is great, man. I have you
Yeah,
published it to the
not
stores?
yet.
Look at this
The F
icon is
icon
fine.
is just hilarious. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this.
Nice. Very cool.
So yeah, that one was the basically second one. Let me close those for a second so I have a bit more space. Um, this one I also built. I actually published this one like I think last week.
Yep.
It goes a bit along the lines of like looking at different models. So this is what I call parallel chat. You can basically add multiple models here. I have 3. These are all the 5-6 series right now, but I could also say for like a change, I maybe want to have here haiku. And then you can pick the different reasoning effort, and then you can ask a question. Let's stick with our theme. Linear.
Do they when you press send, do they basically go at the same time. They literally happen in parallel then.
They literally happen in parallel. So you see like some interesting things, right? So this one got really fast into it. The
Yeah.
Terra one had a bit of a delay. This one takes ages until sort of the first token arrives.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
here's
yeah,
like the
yeah.
thing that I like. So you see like this is the same model family, so they're kind of entering similarly. Cool. This one here, for example, is haiku. Like it's a lot more text, right?
Yeah.
And so you can find those little things and get a feel for what is actually the difference of those models, which I think, given that we spend a lot of time to like look into how we use the models best and explain them, I find this super valuable. And then yeah, you kind of like by just like sending a few messages, you get a really good grip for what it is, and so that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Just had a bit of fun with this one, so I every now and then pop this up when I like want to see different models, especially when a new one comes out. And as like you can let yourself generate like a random prompt,
Oh,
and
that's
it
cool.
like can search the web and has like some nice things.
So
Can
basically, in
regenerate.
settings, people just add their own API keys, right, to whatever model they
Yes,
want to.
exactly. So this one is like backed by open routers. You
Oh,
can
you just do
put
open
in
router.
an
Yeah, yeah,
API.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then
nice.
web search. You can give it like a system message that goes across everything. So you can also
Mm,
kind of play around with like writing a system message for your product and see how it affects maybe certain things.
yeah,
So yeah, fun one.
nice.
It was cool to work on this. Like, yeah, it was
How
quite
long did
fun.
that take?
That took a bit longer, to be fair. Like I think like mainly because I wanted to have like it really nice looking, and I had this maybe notice this, and that maybe ask the second question. And what about Netlify and Rusell? I don't know, and Cloudflare.
Resend or
Okay,
whatever. Yeah,
and Resend. Let's do them all. So you see, like what happened basically, it generated a new message that is on the same line, so I can again compare them nicely to each
yeah,
other, right? Because like there's like now here a lot of white space,
of
and I did this
course.
on purpose because I kind of want to see again the same message, and so a lot of those little UX things that weren't really defined, but as I started using it, I was like, oh, I want to compare, and like then you get into it, and then you prompt yourself through it. So it was
Yeah,
quite fun, and so you kind
nice.
of can see it's coming together.
Yeah, that's very
Um,
nice. That's very well done.
yeah, but I also don't want to just talk about my own apps or yours. So I had this one, which is a cool one. I try to think about how to best demo this, to be honest. But the terminal command chmod,
CH
right?
mod. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Chmod,
yeah.
yeah. Plenty of times used to like set random flags, and then there's like 755 and 644.
Yeah,
Like I don't even. I honestly I don't know what those numbers mean. I just like know when there is a script I need to execute, I need to do this, right? And then
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
made this super cool visual app where basically you can track in. Actually, I never tried with a folder, so let's try. So I can track in a folder, and I see visually, okay, what's happening here? Okay, I know the owner has like read, write, execute access, right? And then different ones. I can just like toggle those and then apply either to the whole item or like everything that is in the folder. And I found this one, it was just like such a nice way to make something that I've used like plenty of times myself, but in a visual way, which like
Yeah.
suddenly made like way more sense to me. Like, okay, I can do this, and I'm more like a UI person than like hanging out in the terminal. So for me, this was like just like a nice little utility where I feel like, somebody like had a problem, looked at it with some fresh eyes, gave you like a little solution. Great. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
this
true,
one.
man. This is one of those things that like the thing is so abstract and that helps visualize
Yeah,
it a bit more.
exactly. So
I
that
like
were
that.
most of the apps that I had prepared. But if you have some others, happy to
Now,
jump
today I'm
some
not sharing my
as
screen,
well.
man, because I have a feeling
Fair
that because
enough.
I'm using I decided to use Safari for this,
Oh
and
yes, you're going wild.
basically I don't think I have permission. I don't want to restart everything now. Um,
That's fair.
but I am making a video right now, actually. Well, not literally right now, but right after this, I'm recording a video for Glaze, which we should publish tomorrow, hopefully, if we can get it done in time with Bruno, which is us going through some of our top pick apps. So watch out for this video tomorrow, and then we're gonna share the apps. And if you have built a Glaze app, then also feel free to let me know on Twitter, and then I can take a look. And all right, so now it's time for the big announcement. Do you want to do it?
I let you do it. Like you're a good announcer. You go.
Shall I do it? All
You
right.
should do it.
But it might be good that you share your screen because then we have some visuals to go with it.
Of course, I can do that. Well, I think I do already. So, but
Oh
Bruno
yeah,
will
maybe we just add it
do
to the
the magic.
stage.
Yeah. So I do the honor and you talk it over, I guess.
All right, 1 second. All right, so we are announcing the Glaze Awards event, which is basically a competition that has officially opened for registration like 20 minutes ago. And we have a total pool prize of around $25,000 with the winner winning $10,000. And really excited about this to see what people can build with Glaze. And if you take a look at this page, which is glaze.app/awards, then every detail is in there. But you can see in total, up to 10 people are going to win something, with the first one being $10,000, the second one, silver, $5,000, then bronze, third place, 2,500. And then the following seven finalists, in no specific order, are going to get $1,000 each. So there's a lot of opportunity there, I guess, to make something and hopefully also win something for it. So take a look at that page and sign up. It's going to be from the 23rd to the 27th next week. And your apps are basically going to be assessed and judged by this lovely crew that you see here on the screen, which is Thomas, Casey Newton, who you're probably familiar with, I would imagine. We have Aaron Epstein from General Partner YC Combinator and Nate Parrott from Anthropic, previously browser company.
Yes.
Um, and so that's going to be really cool, man. This is like the first big event we're doing, not just in Glaze, but Raycast as well. And I'm really excited to see what people are going to
Oh
build.
yeah.
Like you can build some crazy stuff with Glaze. So let's take a
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I'm super pumped. I'm very excited to see like how far you can push Glaze. I
Yeah.
think we've seen some apps, we've seen some cool things, but I think we will be blown away what people put together. So I'm like super excited for people just going and like having fun, crazy ideas,
Yeah.
trying out stuff that we wouldn't even think of. I think this is always what excites me the most when we had also hackathons around extensions, but Glaze apps are so much more powerful and pretty much open ended what you can do with them. So yeah, super pumped to see what people come up with there.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be crazy because even for Raycast, which in a way it's more limited just because of the UI that you have access to, and you know, people did some crazy stuff. So with Glaze, man, I can't imagine. Even in the Glaze sessions that we've done quite a few now. London,
Yeah,
Berlin, New York, Paris,
San
San
Fran.
Francisco, New York. Did I say New York? I said New York. Barcelona. We
Yes.
haven't done Barcelona yet. But in those Glaze sessions, we've already seen people doing some crazy stuff. So in this one, with like such a big uh, pool of cash prize, I guess people will be even more motivated to do so.
Yeah. And in
So
the sessions we like had give or take 1 to 2 hours, right?
yeah, that's
Now we're
true.
talking
That is
about
true.
4 days.
4
So very
days. Yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, sign up, give it a go. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. When you sign up, we're going to send you an email probably early next week with all of the instructions, timings, everything that you need to know. There will be a special way for you guys to submit your Glaze app to the store, where you will be basically under a special kind of Glaze award section. Um, and I think we're gonna do a thing that we can get other people in the community involved as well by checking out the app, downloading it, trying it out, and they can also vote for the apps that they like the most. So it should be quite fun to get like almost everybody who wants to participate either as building and creating an app, or maybe just seeing what people are doing and trying them out.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing which we also wanted to like why we wanted to do such an event is like just getting people creativity out there and also inspire others, because I think sometimes when you see something and see what may be possible, it sparks another idea of your own. So yeah, super pumped to see how it goes next week essentially.
Yeah, amazing. Well, I think that's a great place to wrap up on. So, and actually, let me take a look at the chat. I feel like there were some questions there that we should
Yeah,
probably
let's do
answer.
it.
Let me see. I'm gonna go in order. Glaze is awesome. Are you planning on releasing something similar
Mm.
for iOS? I've seen a few questions like this actually. Do you want to answer it?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have something like this, honestly speaking, sometimes. Um, Turns out Apple isn't a really huge fan of this, of this idea. There were like a few apps doing something like that, and they ran into all sort of issues over the last couple of months, and they're all trying pivoted away and trying doing different things. Um, that being said, we like have a few ideas where we maybe can do something quite cool and integrate with the iOS ecosystem in a nice way. I pick my words wisely because I don't want to spoil or anything. But I think like generally there is something where you have something on the go, which would be quite nice to have. But yeah,
Yeah,
kind of need to see what's possible, because iOS is a way more restricted platform than the Mac. So that's what makes it a bit more challenging.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I can see the appeal. You build one app in Glaze and you have your desktop version and your iOS version. It would be
Yeah.
great, of course.
Yes.
Next up, will there be the possibility to make extensions for Raycast using Glaze? There's something better,
Um,
no?
there's
Almost
something.
cooking in the background.
Yeah. So we have ideas around making creating extensions easier, but I think that because of the Raycast extension, it should probably be in Raycast, right? I
Yeah,
think that makes sense a bit more. There might be something coming in that regard relatively soon. What we feel like we want to make Raycast and Glaze work really nicely together. So I could see something. There is a Glaze app that maybe bundles an extension. So when you install a Glaze app, it automatically shows up in Raycast smoothly, right? I think that could be a first nice step. I think either this or next week we're already making it easier to, for example, build MCP servers for your Glaze apps, so they can expose things to Raycast AI or other agents as well. So we
yeah,
really want to make sure that Glaze plays nicely with the entire ecosystem, and obviously because we own Raycast and Glaze, making it like really nicely and smoothly integrated, so they kind of work pretty easily together,
yeah,
which I think is pretty nice.
definitely. Next up, um, the status of clipboard history in iOS. Just to clarify, are we talking
Yeah.
about just clipboard history on iOS, or are we talking about syncing clipboard history to iOS? Let's wait to see if Chahat can answer that, and then we will address it. Meanwhile, we have Carlos. Will iOS have folders to organize AI chats? I
Ask
guess.
Jordan.
Is it John working on this?
No, Jordan. Jordan.
Oh, Jordan. All right. I thought you said John. I was like, oh, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
John. That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jordan. Come on, Jordan, man. If you're listening, that is a highly requested feature. I kind of want that myself, to be honest.
Yeah. But I think it's like because we have in the new Raycast on the Mac, we have folders, right? It would make sense that they're synchronized, right?
Yeah.
So that is, I think, one of those things which we're going through where we bring a bit more feature parity between those. But yeah, I think it makes sense. Equally, lots of people ask us about folders and organizational things for notes, especially people who use it more and more. They want to have
Yeah.
something there. So yeah, need to see.
All right. I don't know if Chahat is around anymore to answer, but maybe I'm gonna guess what he means. I think
Go
he
for it.
means just normal clipboard history in iOS. What's the deal with that? Is that possible? Like, or is it like
No, not
from an
really.
API point of view is
Yeah. So no, I was very restrictive, so you can't do anything really on the system level. God forbid
oh right.
something that the user didn't trigger. So the only way, I think there are like a few clipboard history like apps,
Okay.
but I think how you push things in there is like to share something. Sort of like you share it with the app and then it stores it, and then you can pick it up, and it's like
Ah
not
right.
super
Yeah, yeah,
smooth.
yeah.
I think there was like we discussed internally that we could do, and this maybe touches the other angle of the question, like cloud synchronization of clipboard history. This pops up every now and then. We don't really want to do it because there's a lot of like potential sensitive information in in clipboard history that you
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
yeah.
don't really want to like have your computer leave. Um, but I think what could be interesting, like you maybe have either something where you trigger it on, or you keep the last 1 to 5 items or something like this, but not your whole history. I think there could
Yeah.
be something interesting there. But yeah, I think like so far we stayed away from it.
Yeah. I have seen a lot of people asking for it though.
Yeah,
And
I
to
get the
Windows as
appeal
well.
because like there is this feature where you can copy something on one device and then paste it on the other, right? And it works 80% of the time, and it never works when you need it, right? That's
Yes.
super
It's like
annoying.
AirDrop in
So
general.
yeah, yeah, and so that's super annoying, and God forbid it like doesn't work on Windows on a PC, right? So yeah,
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's a good time to wrap it up. 51 minutes. So thank you everybody for joining. Thanks, Thomas, once again. And
thank
we'll
you for
see you next
hosting.
month.